Oh yeah, okay. That's the start.
Welcome back to the Creepy 100 podcast. I am Mark, and this is Kinson. Was it?
Shit, I forget, dude. Yeah. You know, did you say? What'd you say last week? You said last week. I'm pretty sure you started and said, "Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Mark." You just didn't say a word about it.
Because the week prior, you said I'm Kinson, and then I said I'm Kinson. It was a joke. That was the joke.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the
that episode's out, you motherfucker. You should go listen to it.
Yeah, you should too.
I did. That's why I knew that. Oh. Tyler.
Tyler's done listening to that shit.
Oh yeah, he had that on his story. Literally at 5:43 a.m.
Dude, I wake up.
I was awake for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? This is part 1 of Ed and Lorraine.
Part 2 of Ed and Lorraine.
Oh, okay.
This was
Oh,
yesterday morning.
I forgot we had an episode come out yesterday.
Yeah. So I got a notification at 5:43 a.m.
Why were you awake though? That's the point.
Because I don't sleep.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I wake up to his notifications. If it wasn't for him, I would forget that we released on Tuesdays. But I wake up every single day to one of his notifications.
every single day.
And I love it. It's my alarm clock.
5:43 a.m. baby.
I know, my man was up. My man was clicking refresh on Spotify just over and over and over again.
That's what we need. More
Yeah,
dedication. We need
that's
more
awesome,
fan dedication like that. Anyway, today we're going to be doing another James Wan movie.
Mm-hmm.
And probably my favorite James Wan movie.
Okay.
I don't know. There's so many good ones.
I don't know any of them. Other than The Conjuring.
I was saying, bro. We just
yeah, no. I recognize the name.
I also really like Dead Silence, but that's a very hated movie.
Hmm.
I think it was just before its time, but we'll get to that next season.
Also never seen it. Oh, okay. I also recognize a different name in the credits.
Patrick Wilson.
Like a different producer.
Who?
Jason Blum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't.
This was a Blumhouse. This is one of the
Is it? Because I started looking. I was trying to figure out.
Bro, the demon's in the Blumhouse logo that we were talking about where we did Halloween Ends.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in there.
Oh.
Red face.
Demon's fucking sick in this movie. First of all.
Darth Maul looking ass.
Darth Maul looking ass. Dude, before we even start, I'm gonna tell you about my biggest jump scare in this movie because it has nothing to do with the movie.
Okay.
So it was in a scene where nothing's happening, and like you said this last week because I'd never seen it, but you said that Insidious frames shots to where you think nothing's gonna happen, the complete opposite of what The Conjuring did.
Yeah.
Conjuring frames a bunch of shots to like where you think something's gonna happen and then it doesn't, and then it like gives you a sense of like relaxation, and then it makes something happening. Insidious does the exact opposite.
Yeah. So
it was during one of those, and I was keeping that in mind when I was watching, and I started watching, and then all of a sudden on my phone, I get it starts going, and I freaked out. It made me jump so hard, and it was called for a severe weather alert, red flag warning.
What is that?
I didn't know either. So I clicked on it and I screenshotted it. I don't know, but severity, severe. Significant threat to life or property. Alert in effect from 10:01 a.m., which is when I was watching this, November 9th until 6 p.m. November 9th. Red flag warning remains in effect until 6 p.m. this evening for wind and low relative humidity. And then they said 4-4, portions of southeast Ohio and northern Kentucky.
Fuck Kentucky.
Facts. And I was like, what is this? And it's basically like a drought warning to like where if there's any fires, they're gonna like spread like crazy today. Like a fire, because it was basically a warning being like, don't start fires outside today, because if you do, it's really dry and like a little ember will go and it'll catch everything on fire.
Huh.
I don't know why it felt the need to give me like a Amber Alert warning about it, but
scared the shit out of you.
That was my biggest jump scare in the entire movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the biggest one I already knew about.
Yeah, it's kind of
because the movie's 12 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks.
Yep, but let's get into it.
So again, directed and written by the great James Wan. It was released April 1st, 2011. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was 10.
To make me double check my Insidious release 2011.
Oh, I was just looking because it's Insidious 2010.
Bro.
April 1st, 2011. What the hell? Yeah, look. 2010 horror/thriller is what it says on the Google like ad lib about it. Interesting. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's obviously the real one. I just don't know why it says.
Oh, I guess it had its world premiere at the Toronto Film Festival then, and then its official release.
Oh, okay. Theatrical release was 2011.
Yes.
Got it.
And
okay. So 2011 is correct.
I remember seeing the midnight premiere of this when that was a thing.
Really?
Yes.
That's fun.
Well, no. It wasn't midnight. Sorry, because we ended up seeing the midnight release of Soul Surfer afterwards because we were so scared.
Oh, I know exactly. I do know that story. You've told me that story of when you freaked out and then you went over to Soul Surfer. Yeah.
So yeah, me and a couple of my buddies, we were literal children when we saw Insidious.
Oh, I mean, I was 10.
Oh my god, it was horrifying.
Yeah.
Seeing that for the first time on a big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, in a full theater. We were so fucking scared. It freaked us out so bad. We had to go see a nice family film afterwards.
Wasn't Soul Surfer like not a fan? It's about that lady that, or like girl that got her arm
bitten off by the shark. Yeah, but it was super like too, it was like super like wholehearted. And one of my buddies was still on edge. So when the shark came out of the water and bit her arm, he jumped.
That's funny.
Oh, man, I could talk about my many memories with this movie, but we should talk about the movie instead.
Yeah. Let's actually.
So it opens
the
up
first scene. Let's go.
With the sleeping boy on his bed.
Oh.
And it like kind of pans around the room, and we see the silhouette of the old lady figure walking around. And then it zooms in on the mirror, and she's in there with a candle. And then we get a really intense title card.
Yeah.
It says Insidious, and the violins are like.
I hate that.
I love it. It's horrifying. It's so scary.
Yeah, it's a very super unsettling noise.
Yeah, it's horrifying. So then we cut back to present day. And then wanted that to be a spoiler. I was like, because like you're not supposed to know what that was about until the end. Anyway, so it cuts to what would be present day, which was 2011 back then. For all those who didn't know. 2010 if you saw it at Toronto Film Festival.
Yeah. Okay.
So we meet Renee, who is the mother of the kids and the wife to Patrick Wilson's character, Josh. Mm-hmm. Again, Patrick Wilson and James Wan, bro, they're so good together.
That's why I always thought it was part of The Conjuring, is because I was like, I guess why did I always think that? Because it's the same fucking guy and it's the same fucking director.
So Renee wakes up in her new house. Josh kind of stays asleep. She goes downstairs, revealing a ton of like boxes that still need unpacked. Mm-hmm. She starts to unpack some, and then her son Dalton. She has two sons and one baby girl. Mm-hmm. Dalton, Foster, and Callie. I almost forgot the baby's name because they never fucking say it.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I knew it like they said it like twice in like the first like 20 minutes and then never again.
Yeah.
And the baby becomes low-key irrelevant.
The baby scenes are scary as fuck though.
Yeah.
So Dalton shows up and he's like, "Listen, Mom, I don't like my room." We found out he couldn't sleep, and then they start looking at old pictures together. And Dalton was like, "Hey, where are the old pictures of Dad?" And she's like, "Well." Before she could say anything, the baby starts crying. Like Callie, there it is. Callie starts crying. And then it cuts to them having a nice little breakfast scene. While Renee's calling the billing department, she's frantic, bro. She is frantic, trying to make fucking breakfast for her kiddos. Her husband's upstairs getting ready for work.
Yeah, they're all asking her 1,000 questions. It's like such a chaotic household.
Yep.
And it made me laugh when it cut up to him.
And he's
just calmly like brushing his teeth. I was like, "You're a dick, bro." This is such a different character than Conjuring.
Yeah.
Him. That like, yeah, it was it was weird to watch him in like almost an identical setting, but such a different character. And you know what? Props to him for being a good actor because he made me believe it. So,
yeah, he's great. So Josh gets downstairs. He kisses everyone goodbye. and goes to fucking work. Renee goes looking through boxes and she sees that books have been like knocked off the bookshelf. So she's like, Dalton, you motherfucker. And then it cuts to the kids are at school. Renee sits at the piano and sings. She's doing her little thing, writing her little song. And the baby monitor starts to go off. Renee goes up to the baby. We then hear noises from the attic. Renee goes up there and reaches to turn on the light. She steps on this like ladder thing that's like up against the fucking roof wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it breaks. And it turns out the noise is just the fucking furnace. Weird having a furnace in the attic, isn't it?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, actually. Because heat rises.
Yeah.
And the whole point of a furnace is to be hot down there so that it rises throughout the house.
Beats me, man. I don't design houses. I don't know a lot about furnaces. I'm not going to lie.
It's for the effect.
I'm not a furnace expert.
Well, as our local furnace
and
expert.
if I was, that'd be my gig. I wouldn't be here.
That would be the reason for one of the 1-star reviews. If it was me. I do have 1-star reviews for this one ready. Actually, already in advance. And there's only, I will say this, there's only 6 of them. Because, strangely, this movie has the least amount of reviews of any we've covered.
What?
On Google. There's only like 760
Wow.
reviews, like total. And so there's even less 1-stars. So there was not a lot to go through. A lot of them were kind of the same thing, but I found our gems. Don't worry.
Good. Anyway, so night falls. Josh comes home. Foster runs over to Josh and he gives him like a brand new toy. He's quiet. He's like literally out of the movie for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So Dalton is playing upstairs with his little sword and his little shark. Man, battling it out.
Yeah, he's battling the Megalodon and Insidious.
The attic door opens behind him. So, you know, he gets a little curious.
Yeah.
Renee's downstairs like, hey, Josh, where's my sheet music? I know he packed it away. And he doesn't give a shit. He's like, hey, let me see my fucking baby.
Yeah, he's very just like dismissive, just like he was in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's like, I gotta go to work.
So he takes the baby and he starts holding it, you know, doing dad shit. Dalton is in the attic. He sees the same light Renee saw, so he starts getting on that ladder. He climbs up and he falls, right? Dalton sits up and something in there starts making this like crackling sound that we hear throughout the movie. Dalton looks into the dark and screams. Josh and Renee run up. Dalton is crying in the attic. They check on him. Renee finds her sheet music up there. And it's just whole ordeal. They put Dalton to bed. And they all go to sleep.
Yeah. That I like in that attic scene. Number one, I like that Dalton's not a pussy. And like he falls off that ladder and he's chill.
Yeah.
Like he gets banged up. But he's cool. And then when he hears that noise and everything, he's just like kind of staring at it. He's like, what the hell is this? Like he's not screaming for anybody, he's fine. And then all of a sudden something happens off camera. And then when it comes back to him, he's got this fucking big ass knot on his head of like where like you would think that he like fell off of. I was like, damn, bro, that shit looked like it hurts too. It looks like a rug burn.
Yeah.
Almost like, you know, where it's like pink
little,
and
like
then there's
strawberry
like
patch.
yeah, that's what it looks like. And I was like, damn, I was like, ow, bro, that's like a wood burn. That would be horrible.
Yeah. So Demon beats his ass.
Yeah. It's mollywopped by a demon.
So while Dalton's asleep, it kind of pans to his window, and then it just cuts to the next one.
Dude, I paused. I paused trying to look for something in that fucking window.
I told you, it does shit where it makes you think something's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and it doesn't.
Yep.
They're doing breakfast again. Josh goes to wake up Dalton because everyone else is down there and he's still asleep. Dalton doesn't get up. He's out. Sleep. Slump. He's asleep. He's sleep and slump. And he is for the rest of the movie, so buckle up. They go to a doctor, and it turns out he's in a coma, and they can't figure out why. And they want to do a bunch of more tests. However, all the tests that they did do came back normal.
Yeah.
3 months go by. Dalton is at home, still slump, just at home. A nurse teaches Renee how to put like a feeding tube in and all this shit. Dalton is at least in the comfort of his own home.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what you really ask for in this situation.
I guess, yeah. Probably had no choice. Because those staying in a hospital is fucking expensive, first of all. And so to like keep them there when nothing's happening, when they're just doing a bunch of tests that mean nothing, and you could be having all the same equipment in your house, it's literally going to save you probably like $10,000 a month to just stay at your house. And we do have listeners overseas. I know that doesn't make sense to you, but we don't have health care here, so that's why.
No, we have health care. We just have to pay for it.
Yeah, we don't have universal.
Yeah,
like
we're from America. Just look into it. I'm sure you can find how shitty our healthcare is here.
Pregnancy costs $50,000 to $100,000.
And I have a kid.
Yeah. Did you see? Speaking of this, real quick tangent. I just saw this news article like 2 days ago. This girl gave birth in the taxi on the way to the hospital, and the taxi company billed her the full amount of a pregnancy.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And they claimed it was like to replace this in the car and replace this in the car and like replace like the seats and the covering, blah, blah, blah. Which like, yeah, but 50? Like it's the cost of the car.
Like, jeez.
Yeah. Okay, good.
And then cuts to Renee back at the piano doing her thing, grinding, making her fucking bops. The baby monitor starts to go off again, but this time we start hearing whispering. You can't really make it out, but it's like a demonic whispering.
Mm-hmm.
So Renee gets up and she brings the baby monitor with her so she can listen, and someone is clearly talking to the fucking baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear in a very deep demonic voice, "I want it now," or "I want it now."
Yeah.
The now, bro, scared the shit out of me the first time I saw
that
it.
was loud.
Just Callie starts crying, so Renee runs up there, and no one's in the room.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that scene, bro. I said, this is when I was like, oh, this is gonna be scary. Like this movie's gonna be fucked.
Okay. Yeah. I really, really liked that. I liked her sitting at the bottom of the 3 stories, like looking up, and then it kept going from the above view to her view.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot.
Nice little camera shots.
It was.
James Wan is a fucking pro.
Yeah.
Has he done anything as of late?
I have no idea.
I follow him on Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Check the feed later then.
his handle is Creepy Puppet. It's funny because he's done a lot of Creepy Puppet movies, like Saw, Dead Silence.
Oh, so probably Jigsaw is probably his most recent?
Oh, he only did like the first 2.
Oh, okay. He wasn't responsible for like the newer ones?
No. He did the good ones.
Oh, okay.
So Renee puts Foster to bed, and it turns out he won an award at school today, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But he was too afraid to tell them because they were so caught up in Dalton.
Yeah, that's sad.
And then he says, listen, man, I'm scared of Dalton and I want to change rooms.
Uh-huh.
So Renee's like, what do you fucking mean? And Foster says, yeah, I don't like when he just walks around at night. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that shit freaked me out.
And then like, we get a little clip of Dalton like looking like across the hallway Foster looking into Dalton's room, and he just like sits up and like looks at him. So Foster, being the wise guy he is, shuts his door and runs back to bed. Renee then explains to Josh the whole baby monitor incident in their bedroom, and then we get 3 knocks at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Josh gets up to look. He checks out he looks out the front window. Nobody's there. Yada yada yada. He goes outside with a flashlight. Guess what? No one's there. He locks up. He sets the alarm on his security system, and he starts heading back to bed. Callie starts crying again, bro. This baby doesn't shut the fuck up.
Literally.
Renee gets up to check on her, and there's somebody standing in the fucking room, bro.
That one is the hardest I jumped.
It's scary.
The entire movie. Everything since then, like it wasn't like there were definitely a lot of scary parts, but that one is the one that actually got me like a good jump scare, and I realized how long it's been since I've had a really good jump scare, because like I felt it, and I felt like that jump scare fear, and I was like, oh fuck, I was like, I haven't had that in a minute. I was like, that's good. That was a good fucking one, because it's like the crib has, I don't even know what you call it.
Like
it's
a mesh,
like a mesh like curtain that goes around it to like dim light and things like that, but it's like pink, And so the shot is from the doorway into the room, so it's past the crib, past that mesh sheet, and there's very clearly a figure standing there, which you can almost make out. And it is like, it's a full body apparition, and it is scary, bro. You can tell that the face behind that mesh is scary. Like the way it's like so pale and like gross. Yeah. And then do you see it again? Is this the same night?
Why don't I just continue?
Okay.
Because I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
another night.
That's why I don't want to. That's why I didn't want to say anymore.
But,
yeah.
This, I remember seeing this in the theater too, dude. Oh my god. Me and Aaron were like teeth chattering. Oh. Oh my god. And I remember leaving that theater like, holy shit, that's like one of the best horror movies I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's insane. And all the twists. I want to do not the Conjuring. I want to do the Insidious too, but we don't.
Well,
really,
we fucking have to now.
We don't have time to do it this season unless we cut.
Yeah.
Down.
We have to do it at some point though, because the way that this one left off.
Insidious 2 is like insane.
And think of me, okay? I've never seen this before, so this was like a new cliffhanger to me. I don't know anything about these movies.
We'll discuss our schedule in a minute.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. During the break.
During the break we will.
Yeah, when you're listening to ads, we're gonna be screaming at each other.
Because dude, you have to see Insidious 2. It is fucking nuts.
I know, and
you'll watch it and be like, so that's what that was.
Yeah,
like, that's what that was. That's what that was. And you're gonna be shook as fuck when you find out like why things are happening the way they are.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for that one.
Oh, dude, I remember watching that Insidious 2 in the theater. I've seen all three Insidious. I guess there's 4. I've never seen the 4th. I've heard terrible things about it, so I've avoided it.
I mean,
but the first 3, I went to every midnight premiere or early showing.
Really,
I could because I loved those movies.
I don't know if I would trust those opinions on the 4th. I mean, this one's only a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not even a 7 out of 10
no. This
on
is
ratings.
word of mouth though, which is
yeah, but I mean, like this one has terrible ratings. But it's like
in horror defense, horror movies get shit on critically.
Yeah,
all the time.
That's very true.
Honest to God, if it's above 60%, it's probably a really good horror movie. Because horror gets shit on.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Is it? Well, I think it's just because it's not like, I don't want to say it's like not like a popular genre, but it's not a very well liked genre. Like, there's no one in the world that hates a genre of movies more than horror.
No.
Like, you never hear anybody not like horror movies. And with the exact same intensity, not like
romantic comedies.
Yeah, romantic movies. Like you hear like dudes being like, "Oh, I don't want to watch that," like for those or whatever. But like,
those are boring.
Yeah, some.
I've seen some bangers, but most of them, I cannot sit through. I need blood. I need guts. I need gunshots. I need something to.
I don't need all that, but
take my.
I will say that
I need something to boost my testosterone when I'm watching it.
It's all right, bro. You're not watching this movie for free. Like you're fucking just enjoy the movie, bro.
I really just can't do like romantic. Comedies I can barely do too.
Comedies are rough for me.
I think that's my least favorite is comedies because like my sense of humor is so left field.
Yeah.
That nothing makes me laugh. I will say probably the best comedy movies for me are Austin Powers. Because those actually make me laugh so hard.
Comedy and the funny thing is like comedy used to bang too. Like comedy movies, I used to love comedy movies. Like around the
90s through 2010 was probably peak of comedy.
I'd give that till 2015. To be honest with you.
Really? What came out between 2010 to 2015 that you like so much?
So I'm thinking, like, I don't know.
When did Horrible Bosses come out? Because that was pretty good.
Well, right now I'm thinking, wasn't Grown Ups 2011?
You liked Grown Ups?
I did like Grown Ups, the first one. I liked Grown Ups, and then
Horrible Bosses was 2011.
Okay,
so I'll give you that.
And then there was one. It was a Key and Peele movie. It was like Keanu or whatever. It was the one about the cat. I watched that shit and I laughed incredibly hard. That one, and then there was one with Charlie Day and I think Ice Cube called like Teacher Fight or something, or like Fist Fight. where there were two teachers.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They started just like
Beefing.
rumors happened between them, and Ice Cube was known to be like this crazy like dude that just beats everybody up, and then a bunch of people started telling him that Charlie Day's character was like talking shit.
What is Charlie David up to?
Mountain Dew commercials, and It's Always Sunny.
Oh yeah, he's in that. I forgot.
And that show still is running, I guess. I haven't seen that shit in years, but
there is one movie, I can't remember the name of it, but James Franco's in it. Bryan Cranston's in it.
He's the one.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's about where James Franco is marrying the daughter of Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
Yeah,
that one's funny.
It's called like He's the One, or like Really Him, or something like some like smart remark of like of like seriously him, like something like that.
That was
a good one.
That one was good.
That one was funny. There's very few that come out, but honestly, I would say like realistically, since like 2015, I have not thought any like comedy movies are really funny. Like I have not like laughed hard at a movie like that in a long time.
I will say, horror movies hit with comedy these days, like It.
Mm-hmm.
It Chapter 2.
I think I probably laughed harder at those than I have at
That's what I'm saying.
comedy movies.
Isn't that fucked? What other horror movies have like great comedy in it? Halloween 2018's got great fucking moments.
Yeah, I did have good moments. There's one. What am I thinking of? That had really funny ones.
X is really fun.
Oh, X. X is a really good one comedy wise.
Yeah.
I just loved X, but we that's gonna be an episode next season.
I think maybe we should wait till all three are out, so we have X, Pearl, and Maxine.
Okay.
To just cover them all.
Yeah.
Because oh my god, I still haven't seen Pearl.
I haven't either.
And I'm dying to see it.
I haven't either.
Anyway,
because we were gonna.
This is about Insidious.
Yeah, we were gonna see Pearl, but I was out of town, was I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next week we're gonna go see the person who was in charge of getting us all together and getting us to theater. She was out of town.
Ah, okay.
So we never saw it.
Yeah.
You know what? While we're fucking talking, why don't we just take a fucking break?
Okay. Yeah. Let's cut to ads for a little bit. Keep that studio light on with your money. And we appreciate you guys. We'll cut to ads for a little bit, and we will be right back with the second part of Insidious.
This episode is pretty scary, but what's scarier is not having access to your favorite Paramount horror films like Friday the 13th, A Quiet Place, and Scream. With Paramount Plus, you have access to a mountain of entertainment, groundbreaking originals, iconic movies, hilarious reality shows, game-winning sports, and so much more. It's all here on Paramount Plus. Plans start as low as $4.99. If you bundle with Showtime, you can save up to 28%. This was a pretty intense episode, so if you need something lighthearted to distract your mind, click the link in the description below to sign up for a free trial.
Yeah. So lighting that candle, I wasn't fucking thinking. I had the lighter in my hand, and I went to go pick up something. I was like, oh, let me just tuck this in between my fucking.
Oh, that's what burnt you?
Yep.
Oh,
So I branded myself
that's
on
a fucking
accident.
rough one.
Welcome back, guys.
I hope you have Bic just right there.
It wasn't even big. It was like a Dollar General fucking lighter.
You imagine you have DG, there's the logo right there.
I would scrape it off
That'd be funny
myself.
as hell.
All right, welcome back, guys. To
Welcome
oh, we also figured out if we're doing Insidious 2 or not. Stay tuned to find out.
Imagine it's no.
And we're not.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for 2 weeks from now, and you'll figure out if we do it or not, and then it's just not there. Be so disrespectful.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know what? We should actually watch Insidious 2 together because I want to see your fucking reactions.
Okay, I'm down with that. We can go to my house. I'll have like the sound bar,
Yeah.
full house. Like we can just do that.
Great.
We'll do that.
Great.
We'll do that next week. Or whenever, honestly. But for now, let's jump back in.
So we kind of left off at a really intense part. So there's someone standing behind the crib.
Mm-hmm.
Renee calls out to Josh. Josh runs up there. The guy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He runs around the room, opening closets and shit. Nobody's there. And he's like, what the fuck? The security system goes off. And it's just... Oh, dude, it's so annoying. It's
Oh,
just-
dude, the security system noise is fucking horrible.
and it's loud, and it's definitely meant to cause unease,
Yeah.
and it does.
Yeah.
Oh man. And Josh is like, all right, everyone go to Dalton's room. I'm gonna go downstairs and check this shit out. He
Mhm.
goes downstairs. He sees the doors wide open. He investigates it. No one's there. He shuts it, locks it. And you know what happens? He grabs a fire poker and he looks around the house for the intruder. Doesn't find anything.
Mhm.
Moments go by and the alarm goes off again, bro. Front door's open.
Mhm.
Once again. He turns the alarm off again and locks up. And then it just cuts to the next day. Crazy cut
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Bold choice, James Wan, and
Yeah.
it worked.
And I like it.
This movie, but this and The Conjuring are so differently paced.
Oh, yeah. This one, something happens.
Every scene.
Yeah. I mean, apart from maybe the first 20 minutes, there is something at least every, like, 5 scenes. First 20 minutes is, like just getting settled in the house. I think the first real thing that happens is her getting spooked in the attic.
That's like scene 3.
That's a minute in there. It might have also seemed like a minute because I was making food. And I kept having to pause and then go to the microwave and then pause.
That's
and then go to the air
probably
fryer and
why.
stuff like
Because that happens pretty fucking fast.
that. I did, though, when I was watching, I was appreciating how quickly things were happening because that was one of my only complaints for The Conjuring.
Yeah, as that shit happens. There's a slow burn in The Conjuring that I found hard to watch or rewatch.
Yeah.
And take notes for. I was just like, geez. This was easy as fuck to take notes for because something happened.
Yeah.
Almost all, like, throughout the movie.
Mm.
Anyway, next cuts the next day. We find out Josh is a teacher at, like, a high school.
Mhm.
He gets a call from Renee, and he tells her, listen, I have to stay late again. Man's been staying late
Mm-hmm.
every night.
Mm-hmm. Like late, not even like teacher late, like
10,
7 o'clock, like he's
30 p.m. late.
Yeah, I think this night in particular, I think it's at 11:30 on the clock.
Did you see the little jigsaw on the board in the back? During the scene. Nice little Easter egg, because James Wan, he did Saw.
Oh, I did not see that.
So, yeah, someone fucking
Yeah.
drew a little jigsaw on the board.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty badass.
Oh, on the chalkboard.
Yep.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
It's pretty awesome. Again, we cut to the next day. A nurse is in Dalton's room helping out.
Mhm.
Renee's like, listen, I'll just take it from here. I appreciate all your help. Go on and get out of here. Screw him.
Yeah.
So Renee starts fixing like the bed sheets, and she sees like blood
Mhm.
by Dalton's foot. So she pulls out the sheet, and we see a huge red handprint right next to his foot,
Mm-hmm.
and she is spooked.
Yeah.
Cut to Josh, asleep at his desk at work.
Literally.
Renee calls him, or he calls Renee. I don't know. It was a really weird cut. Either way, they're
No,
on the phone,
I think he is listening to a voicemail from her.
and she's like, "Listen, you need to come home."
Yeah.
So he gets home. Renee has like the sheets in her hand,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Why are you coming home late every night, Josh?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "I've been grading tests." Obvious lie.
Yeah. Is that one of the things we get explanations for?
Oh.
Of why the fuck he's just at school till 11:30 every night? It doesn't make sense because I thought it was going to be like a cheating thing.
It's kind of set up that way.
It is set up that way. So I was like, oh, please don't do that.
Just wait. I think I know why.
You think you know why based on this movie or the next one?
This.
Interest-
Fuck! It might be.
That's why I'm asking. Because I have no fucking clue why he was there. The only thing that I was starting to think of is maybe he is feeling the presence in that house a little more than he is leading to believe. So he doesn't want to be there.
That's it.
That is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Okay. And that's presented maybe in the next one or something.
No,
Or
it's
like-
just,
or
I
like
think it's just
solidified.
kind of.
Just up to you to decide that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that shit
You
doesn't make
could-
sense to me.
You could make it though he's cheating if you want him to be a shitty person. It's not
Well, I
really-
just was hoping he wasn't.
we never.
Because I like him.
We never got proof. Oh, I
Yeah.
love Josh.
And I love the fucking snarky ass comment he makes to her right here in this scene. Are you about to talk about this scene or are you going?
I'm about to talk about it.
Okay, great.
So Renee tells them like she's scared for Dalton.
Yeah.
And she's scared of the house, and she feels something's wrong.
Yeah.
He's like, "You think this house is haunted?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And she's like, I need you, but you're never here. You're here, but you're not here in this moment with me.
Yeah.
And he says, I deal with this shit my fucking way. What was it? My own fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, I don't run away from problems. Let me deal with my shit my own fucking way.
And then she says, fine, deal with this. Throws the sheets at him with the bloody handprint.
Mm-hmm. Right before that, the part that I was going to bring up is she's like, you're never here. And he said, how am I supposed to be? I have to work late. I have to support you and all his medical bills on a teacher's salary or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh, bro. I was like, ugh, relax. Because earlier in the movie, they have a scene in bed where they're talking about, she's like, thank you for letting me stay at home and pursue my music career. And he's like, of course. I want you to do that. And then this is like a nice little like thing of immediately taking that back and being like, I'm letting you pursue your music career. Like using it as like a bullet point, like a fighting point. It was a very unfair little jab at her, but it was funny for a viewer.
Yeah, so then we cut to Josh sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, my man's in trouble for that one.
And he continues to have these weird flashbacks of him sleeping and this old woman.
I thought that was Dalton the whole time.
Yep. It's not. So we then cut to Dalton's room, and it does the same pan on that window, but this time the window starts to freeze, and we see the freaking demon fucking claws.
Yeah, scary ass
on
pointed
the window.
finger handprints.
Yep. Scary. So Renee wakes up, and someone is walking past her window, just pacing.
That shit freaked me out, bro. Because I could they did such a good job of making it just hard enough to see who that was, to where it could have been the husband. But like I was trying so hard. It fucking got me because it was one of those ones where it clearly wanted me as the viewer to try to look closer just so that it could jump scare me back. And it worked on me, and I'm ashamed. But it fucking worked.
I do have to say this movie is so smart like that. It gets you.
Really good. It is not for the weak. And I learned through this movie, I am the weak. I learned that I am so susceptible to these tricks.
Dude, I just imagine seeing this at the age of 12 in a theater
cried
for the first time. And this is like the first time, like, I mean, obviously it's a theatrical release. It's like one of the first times people get like,
yeah,
it was brand fucking new.
I promise you, I would have had my blue slushie in my hand. I would have thrown it at the theater. I would have thrown it at the fucking screen. The second that motherfucker popped up behind the baby crib, I would have screamed. I would have screamed. I would have walked out because I couldn't have my friends around me and watching me do that.
Bro, so
I couldn't be that embarrassed. Because I'd never be able to say anything on the playground ever again. They'd be like, "Oh, little pissy boy, little pussy boy, afraid of Insidious is gonna say something." Everybody gather around. I couldn't have that happen to me.
Anyway, so the guy just keeps pacing past her window, and she starts like calling out to Josh, and somehow he just appears inside the room, and like jumps at her, and it's scary.
Yeah,
and he's just like this demon with this really long hair. He's got a real fucked up face.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
I don't even. It's.
Yeah, this is the same one behind the crib.
This is same guy behind the crib. This movie's so worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
I agree.
My mom hasn't finished this movie because it scared the shit. Like it scared her that bad.
Really?
Yeah. She does not want to finish it.
I get it. I get how that could scare the shit out of her. Actually.
Yeah. From a mother's perspective.
That too. That's a whole other aspect that we don't even feel. But like she's thinking about the whole time.
So, oh yeah, the demon lets out a fucking squeal too. Oh, it's scary. So Josh gets up there and runs up the steps. Like he runs up the steps, and she's like, "There's somebody here." Callie starts to cry, and Renee's like, "Listen, Josh, I want to move out." They literally move out right away. Like the next day, they're in a new house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We then meet Josh's mom, Lorraine. And she's helping Renee unpack while Josh is at work. And she sees a picture of Josh with the family. And she's like, wow, I can't believe you got Josh to take a picture. She cuts to later.
Mm-hmm.
That is important.
Yeah, I knew there was something up. I knew there was something up by the way that she looked at that picture. This whole movie does a lot of the actors, I guess I'll say, do a really, really good job of like making you understand there's a little subplot that you don't know about yet. But like it starts to make you wonder a lot.
Yeah.
There's the mom does it a few times, and then Josh does it in a scene that's coming up that I'll talk about when we get there. But it made me like start questioning everything.
Oh my god, my favorite scene. Well, one of, because there's hella good scenes in this movie, but this one is what made this like solidified this as, oh my god, this is top 5 horror movies I've ever seen.
Okay.
Renee's just cleaning up the house.
Okay.
She puts on a record. She's vibing to her music, bro. She's picking up after Foster. She's picking up after all the kiddos except Dalton, because he's asleep. Jesus, bro. He is, bro.
I guess, yeah.
You saw the movie.
I did.
He's still hump. She then compiles the trash into this trash bag, and she starts to take the trash out. While she's outside, we hear the record scratch. And through the record scratch, we hear Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim start playing.
I hate that fucking song. That song, I've never seen this movie before, literally this morning. And that song has always freaked me the fuck out. I don't like that song. I had no idea its association with this movie. That song just always put me like on edge. And so when it started playing, it was like a double down horrible moment for me. I was panicking. I opened my window.
You opened your window.
I opened my window because I watched it this morning, so it was daytime. And I opened my window because I got scared when that song came on.
Speaking of windows, Renee peers through hers. And we see a boy, definitely not from this era, vibing.
Oh, Brooklyn
Dancing
crazy, dude.
to Tiny Tim.
Mm-hmm.
So she runs in, and the music just stops completely.
Yeah.
We then see a door kind of shut by itself. She goes to check it out, and then the boy just runs right past her, and we hear his creepy ass fucking laugh. So she starts looking around the house for the boy. She sees a wooden horse walking by itself. She walks up to it, stops it with her hand, and then the door behind her just swings open.
Mm-hmm.
She hears the laughing coming from Dalton's room, so she busts in there. She there's like, so the way that this is set up, there's like a dresser, and under the dresser is like a smaller like area.
Yeah, cubby with a
like a little
across
curtain.
it.
We see like feet.
Yeah,
or shoes.
The two like front ends of boots.
Yeah,
like old ass boots too, which matches with what the little boy she's just seen was wearing.
So she takes a broom and starts poking at that shit.
Yeah.
She rips the curtain open. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
Surprise! He's in the dresser above her. He swings that shit open.
It's another example of giving the illusion of everything's okay right before they fucking smack you in the face with some shit.
Yep.
She like, cause I think she literally takes a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
She shuffles the shit around in the curtain. There's nothing there, and the boots were just boots that were already in there.
Yeah.
And so she was like, and like halfway through her sigh of relief, the
dresser busts open and the kid runs out.
And the kid does like a gotcha bitch, and then jumps down and runs the fuck away.
It was really playful for him.
It was, yeah. He was
horrifying for her.
Me. For me.
So Josh comes home to see a priest in his house. And he says something like, so this is like the classic, I come home to a priest
joke, yeah.
in my house with my wife. And Renee's like, yeah, this is Father. He's such a minor character. I didn't even write his name down. So they introduce him, and he's literally just leaves. Then Lorraine walks out. He's like, Mom, what are you doing here? They all sit down at the kitchen table. Renee's like, listen, Josh, this thing from the other house followed us here. And Josh's like, listen, you're not religious. Why are you believing this shit? Why was there a priest in our house?
Yeah.
He's just sitting there patronizing her.
Yeah.
Because she does sound insane.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that if I was him,
yeah,
I haven't seen anything. All I saw is there's a potential home intruder in my last crib. I moved because you're so freaked out. We had to go through all the process of selling a house, getting a new one. He's on a teacher salary. This isn't just like, he's not just freebie houses.
No.
Like, my man went through a lot, and then he finally gets there on like his second day in the house. He sits down at the kitchen table, and she's like, there's another ghost. I'd be like, yo, say that again, and your jaw's out of place.
So before that happens, Lorraine, his mom, steps in. She's like, what's happening here is real.
Mhm.
I've seen it myself.
Nice.
I had a dream about this house. It was late at night. I was afraid. I went into your bedroom, but you two were asleep. I knew I was asleep in the dream, but I could feel that someone was awake in the house. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorite scenes, by the way.
I went into Dalton's room, and there was something in there with him. It was standing in the corner. I asked who you are, and it said, a visitor. I said, what do you want? It points at Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, I can still hear that voice. Dude, we then hear the crackling sound.
God, this scene is so fucking good.
And right behind Josh is that fucking red-faced demon.
Yes. This is the first, I guess,
This is the first
75% face shot
Yeah.
you
okay.
get of it. But holy shit. So when she's explaining that whole vision, it's cutting to like what she saw in her dream. And you see it in the corner. It is literally just a black outline. But it looks crazy. Like, it looks super weird. It's like misshapen. It definitely looks like humanoid.
Yeah.
But not human. And then when it fucking like
But brings out its claws.
brings out his like finger to like go that way or to like point at what am I trying to say?
That's who's in the Blumhouse logo. I don't have to pull it up for you so you can see it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when he's pointing to
Keep talking.
who am I? Dalton. Yeah, when he's pointing to Dalton, his fingers are all sharp. It's this, you can tell it's the same hands that were on the frosted window earlier, and it looks fucking scary. All right, so let's see.
So there's Michael. There's the Purge. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
There he was. There he was.
I do recognize that now. Well, I wouldn't have known that because I've never seen the movie.
No, that's why I wanted to show you.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I was about to say because I don't remember seeing him. I know what he looks like,
Mhm.
the demon, but I've just never seen that scene of like the pointing. So that makes sense of why I have no idea. Thought that was just an arm. But yeah, this dude's scary when he pops out.
Yeah. And then it gets quiet. Lorraine says, I can still hear that voice. And then it just cuts back to Josh. And dude, it's right behind him.
Yeah.
It's right behind him.
Yeah, full manifestation just directly behind him, full color, middle of the day, just pops out you.
That is the one jump scare that is scientifically proven to be like the scariest jump scare.
Yeah.
In any movie.
Yes, and the only reason that it wasn't for me is because I'd already seen it.
Which is
I've
great.
seen that clip.
I wish you hadn't.
Me too. Me too, because I know when I watched it, I was like, I know I would have been scared the shit out of
That's also like the one fucking frame of the movie they use for it.
everything.
Like everything.
Yeah, I remember like there's specific points in this movie. I was drinking. I had like a little energy drink so that I would have energy for the show today. And when I saw something was maybe gonna happen, I stopped drinking because I knew that it was gonna jump scare me so hard that I would choke and I wouldn't be able to record. So it's like this is one of the times that I put my drink down and I just sat there and watched the TV, just completely immersed.
The first time I saw that scene, Jesus Christ, I don't remember my reaction. I think I blacked out.
It's like my graduation.
God damn. Scary movie. Scary movie. So then we hear a ruckus and we see that things have been thrown around Dalton's room and he's just laying on the floor. Poor guy. And Lorraine comes up. She's like, listen, I'm someone who can help if you're willing to ask. We then meet Specs and Tucker, who are these like Geek Squad looking boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they go around basically searching for proof. That way they can call somebody else in. They're just like the guys you call in.
Yeah.
Just confirm if it's real or not.
Mm.
So they do preliminary testing, is what they say.
Yeah.
And they pull out a bunch of crazy
With the equipment.
crazy equipment, and they search the house. And one of the devices he uses switches between like UV lights, right? So Tucker goes into this hallway and he starts looking for clues. There's like little like, I don't know if it's, what is it, EMF? Or like a radioactive detector. Thing? It's like a weird like radioactive thing.
The wand thing?
Yeah.
He said that detects like electromagnetic pulses that are only from faulty wiring, so he can tell if it's like that's causing shit to be weird.
But it starts to go off.
Uh-huh.
So he picks up his UV camera. He starts switching through different colors. And on the third color, we see two ghostly girls. I'm just smiling at it. It freaks him out. He backs up into the living room and he's like, "Hey, we can call Elise now." So Elise arrives and she's very cheerful. She's a very cheerful woman. And the first thing she says to Josh is, "You've grown since I've last saw you." Hint right there.
Yep.
Elise looks around the house. She looks up at the ceiling. And she goes, "I don't think bad wiring is the problem here." Steven, do you have your sketchbook? Steven is Specs, by the way.
Yeah.
He does. They enter Dalton's room, and we hear the same crackling sound we've been hearing throughout the movie. And we start hearing Elise whisper to Specs as he draws, as he starts fucking sketching. And you can't really make out a lot, but one of the things you can make out is blood red face and black body. She mutters to what she sees of him. He sketches it out. Renee freaks out, grabs the sketch.
I didn't hear either of those.
The sketch of red face.
Yeah, I also didn't hear either of those. The only thing that I heard during that whole thing was straight black eyes, like two black holes.
Yeah,
is the only thing that I heard when she was whispering. I was trying to listen.
So Elise sits them down and she's like, "Listen, I'm not sure if you're ready to hear this yet, but we cannot waste any time. This is what I believe, and it may contradict any medical diagnosis Dalton has." And then she explains that Dalton is astral projecting. And he's not afraid because he thinks they're dreams. But he's traveled way too far from his physical body. And now he's lost in a place she calls the further.
This scene is the other one that I was talking about a second ago when I said that the actors give you looks and shit like that to the camera that make you know something's going on. Because this whole scene, she's explaining this. The wife scared as shit. Josh is like doing like this kind of like this like look of like remembrance almost, like she says astral projecting and he has like this little look. It cuts to him and he has like this little look. And then she says the further, and then he has like this little like what, it's almost like a face of like, why do I feel like I've heard that before, like from him? And I was like, something is fucking up with him. And I could not determine whether or not at this point that it was something that he actually knew about or some sort of weird thing of like, I immediately thought about the connection point of like, oh, it's been a long time since I've seen you. I knew there was something weird there, but I still didn't know what at this time.
Yeah. Elise kind of explains that the further is a world between our own. It's a dark realm filled with tortured souls of the dead. And the entities see Dalton's body as an empty vessel. And they're all trying to get into Dalton's body as they all crave life. Other entities, though, have a more insidious agenda. She holds up the picture of the red-faced demon. She says he wants to cause pain to others. He's so desperate to possess Dalton's body that he's the closest to possessing him. Josh gets up. He gets upset. He's like, "Listen, mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here."
Yeah, you're chatting shit in my house. My kid's fucking like half dead over there. Stop talking to me about demons.
He's like, "Yep, thank you. $600 for telling my wife exactly what she wants to hear."
Yeah, he says, he even goes into, which is funny because we actually talked about this on Ed and Lorraine a little bit, is he goes, "You're just fucking catering to people that are already upset."
Yeah.
Telling like wounded mothers what they want to hear in hopes that they just believe you.
Yeah.
And he's like, I told her that we can do this shit because I wanted her to feel better, but no, fuck this. Now you're bringing my kid into it, and I'm pissed.
So but Renee's like, "Listen, you don't believe me. You don't believe me." He's like, "Yes, I believe you. I moved houses for you. You dumb bitch." He did not say that. He didn't say that
part. But yeah, he does get mad.
Like, he gets pissed.
And I get it. I fucking get it.
I do too.
I'd be so mad. You're bringing charlatans in the house. What are you doing?
Who's the witch doctor?
Yeah, who is this? Who is Specs? His glasses are way too big. Fuck you. Get out of my house. I'd be so mad.
So it then cuts to Josh in Dalton's room, and he starts talking to him. He's like, "Listen, buddy, are you away from your body?" And he's just testing the waters.
Yeah.
He's thinking about what Elise said, and he's like, maybe.
Yeah.
So if you can hear me, just come back. A drawing then falls off the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and it's of the red-faced demon.
Yeah.
So Dalton has been drawing the red-faced demon.
Yeah.
And then
It's
we
that.
see a bunch of drawings of like that, the red door,
Yup.
and then my favorite drawing is of him sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
and it says underneath, "Last night I watched myself sleep," and on the other side of the page of his is Dalton in a little superhero cape,
Mm-hmm.
and underneath this is, "And then I flew away."
Yeah. Which is his exact outfit when he fell off that ladder and everything. Like, he's drawing like himself because he always used to wear a blue outfit and a red cape around.
Yep.
And he would always be like the explorer, and he was like a superhero because his dad mentions a few times, "Hey, I know you're a superhero, but you know you're not invincible," and like shit like that. Like, he clearly is like, this is his thing. This is fit.
So this is kind of where Josh realizes, holy shit.
Yeah. It's exactly what she said.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what she said. And then Renee comes in, and all he says is, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
Elise and the gang are back, baby. They set up all their equipment. Elise explains to them what's going to happen. She's like, "Listen, you're going to see some weird things. Don't question it."
It's also crazy that how much of a plot can move along by one word.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, when he said okay, in my head I'm like, oh, he's saying okay, that Elise is okay to come back and they can conduct these experiments that he didn't want to do after all. All that came from the word okay.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, not a lot of actors can pull off. I really fucking like this actor. If you can
Patrick
tell.
Wilson's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I really like him in a lot of stuff, and I want him to be in more.
So, yeah, me too, actually. I love him.
Mhm.
They end up turning off all the lights in Dalton's room. Elise puts on a gas mask. And it's connected to Specs' headphones.
Yeah.
It's a really weird setup.
Yeah.
So, essentially, Elise is a medium. She can see shit. She can talk to shit. She's your average Long Island medium.
True. Just without the hair.
Yeah. Elise is a lot sweeter, too.
Yeah.
Did your mother die? Wait, that was the wrong accent. Wrong accent.
Is that British?
Yeah, it was. How do people talk in Long Island?
They say like shit like basketball and water.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna try.
Yo?
I'm not gonna try.
What was that one gonna be? You know what that
I
reminded
was
me
gonna be Irish.
It reminded me of the fucking that girl that like tried to do like the Jamaican accent.
Molly Agnew. Molly Agnew.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that video entirely until you just did that. Holy shit, that's funny.
That's a funny ass video.
It is.
No,
Why'd she make that face too? She like cranks her fucking neck and shit like.
Molly Agnew. It's like
She looks like she's having a
twitching.
stroke. She looks like she's mid-stroke. Looks like she got possessed.
So we hear Specs repeat after Elise, because we can't hear Elise in this gas mask. He says, "We're calling out to you, Dalton. Tell us if you're safe. Tell us where you are." Nothing. "Can you hear us? Answer us." Silence. And then one of the camera pops. It's kind of like the same thing from The Conjuring where there's like, I don't know if they said if it was like temperature wise.
They said it was environmental changes in this one.
Okay.
That is what they said, which I assume would include temperature.
So it starts to pop. Who's there? "Dalton, it's your mother and your father. We've been searching for you. Where are you?" Dalton replies, "I can't see in here." "Dalton, you don't need to see. Follow my voice." He stops talking. "Dalton, why aren't you talking anymore?" Dalton replies, "If they hear me, they'll hurt me." So they ask, like, who's gonna hurt you? The camera pops. And he replies, "The man with the fire on his face."
Mhm.
Oh! And then Dalton says, "And there's no way out." Elise says, "Follow my voice." Dalton says, "Be quiet. They'll hear you."
Mhm.
Fuck, they heard you. "Now I've got you, Mommy and Daddy. Help. Help. Help." Dude keeps writing down the word help.
Yeah.
Silence. They're like, "Dalton, He then starts writing down some profanities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you bitch, you filthy whore, I'll rip your innards out, all this crazy shit. Which I assume is just a demon. I don't think Dalton would say that to his mom.
Yeah, no.
So the cameras start popping again. Elise leans back and like screams, and then she leans forward exhausted. And then all the cameras start fucking popping. We hear like the heart monitor, like the boop, boop.
Yeah.
It just goes flat. Dalton is standing there right next to Josh,
Mm-hmm.
and he like puts his hand over the table and uses the force or something, bro.
Dead ass. Yeah.
He throws everybody across that room. Doors start opening and shit, revealing all the demons have crossed into their realm,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone is screaming. Dalton then hits Specs and throws him across the room. Elise gets up and grabs Dalton and exclaims, leave this vessel. You don't belong here. And then one of the fucking long-haired demon finds Renee and starts licking her, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's disgusting. Disgusting. So Josh is pissed, so he grabs that fucking licking demon. He starts tussling him. And then the lights turn on and everything stops. Dalton, unfortunately, still asleep. That was the demon. All the cameras stopped working too, like right at this moment.
Yeah.
Except one, they found one thing in the video.
Mm-hmm.
They go frame by frame, and they see in one of the frames, the red-faced demon is literally controlling Dalton's arms.
Puppeteering him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is funny. Keep puppeteering. Good word. Good ass word to describe him.
Yeah.
The doorbell rings. They answer it, and it's Josh's mom.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Mom, what are you doing here? And she's like, listen, Josh, there's something we must talk about.
And pause. I'm gonna piss myself.
Go ahead. Whoa!
Bye, Chorsey. I'll see you in a second.
Chorcy, hit us with a little fade here.
Yeah, hit us with a fade in and fade back. I'll be right back.
Why didn't you piss during the break?
Didn't have to piss then.
Okay.
It came on and it came pure.
Hi, Chorcy. Hope you're having a good day. New Whitney Houston trailer just dropped. Here's my live reaction. Oh shit, this comes out next month. The Whitney Houston trailer. Chorcy's watching my live reaction right now.
Probably was about to ask if you're on FaceTime.
No, I just told him to watch it. Damn, that actually looks fucking good. Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing that shit. What was the last thing I fucking said?
She says there's something we need to talk to you about. The mom.
Okay. So they all sit down, okay? And she's like, listen, Josh, this is going to sound crazy, but the reason I know Elise is because I had to call her to help you once. The ability to astral project was handed down to Dalton by his father. Elise tells him that. He's like, what? And Lorraine says, when you were about 8, you suffered night terrors. We then get a flashback. She explains how he was terrified of this old woman who you said would visit you at night. I dismissed it and told you to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw her for myself. She hands him a box of these old photos, and in each photo of young Josh, we see that this old lady entity is just getting closer and closer in every picture.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary.
It is scary.
So this is why in the back of Josh's mind he's afraid of photos. Josh asks, who is she? Elise says, a parasite. She befriended your astral body, drew you out on purpose, just so it could have an empty vessel. It's so scary.
It's fucking scary.
Your son is out there, and you're the only one who can bring him back, and he doesn't have much time. Josh says, okay. Renee runs up to him, and she's like, you've always been stronger than me. You can do this. Elise tells him to remember while you're traveling and to keep one foot in this world. Mm-hmm. She puts on the metronome, which is somewhat relaxing, I'm not going to lie.
It is.
When I was listening to that, I was about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Josh closes his eyes, and he listens to the ticking.
When she put on that, it's funny you say that, actually. It's because when the metronome was on and then she started talking, I literally had a thought of like, what if this accidentally works on me? And then like I go into the fucking realm, and then you're like texting me like, where are you? At like 12:30, being like, why aren't you here? Why are you not at the studio?
My
like, what's going on?
Astral projecting
And I'm literally just just in my house, just in a whole another realm. I literally had that exact thought, and I was like, fuck. I almost thought about setting an alarm.
It's I don't know, something about that scene is oddly relaxing, and it
is. It's I feel like they talked to some sort of actual hypnotist and got like half the right words.
Yeah,
is what it feels like, because it really does, like it almost puts you under.
No, it really does.
It's weird.
That ticking and the way that Elise is talking, it's so relaxed, and you're just sitting there like, it's real. Astral projecting is real. I am so tired right now, actually. So Josh gets up and he's like, it's useless. I have no idea what I'm doing. As he gets up, he sees that it worked and that his physical body is on that fucking sofa, slumped. Elise turns to him and she's like, okay, sorry. She's like, keep a steady stride and into the further you go. The further's a very dark, it's a very foggy place. Mm-hmm. It's got this green-blue tint all around. Mm-hmm. It's spooky. And the only thing that's lighting the area is the little fucking lamp he has.
Yeah.
And it's eerily quiet, and like the sound is reverbed and spooky.
Yeah.
So he walks around looking for his son. He finds a boy, and a boy points to his old house. He goes in. Entities start showing up all around him. We see like a woman in a fucking wedding dress going up the steps. We then we hear crying. The crying gets louder. He gets up there. Josh calls out, hello. He's like, hey, I'm looking for my son. We hear the same child from earlier laughing, like the little boy.
Yeah.
Josh walks out. He walks around. We then hear whistling. Josh follows it, and he finds a little family frozen in time sitting there. Father continues to whistle. We then hear a shotgun cock. Josh goes into another room, and there's a woman in there with a shotgun. He looks at her. He turns around, and we hear the shotgun go off 3 times. Josh walks back into the room, and we see that the family's all been shot. And before them is that woman with the shotgun. They all, the woman who shot them is like smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah.
And then the entire family appears before Josh, and they're all smiling. Josh runs upstairs, and he sees the red door. He starts walking towards the red door, and the licking demon's there. And they fucking fight it out.
Yeah, they do.
Bro is pissed. He starts kind of losing. We then hear Elise say, you're stronger than them, Josh. Josh gets the upper hand. It literally pushes the demon into
the void.
The fucking void.
Yeah.
And it just disappears.
Yeah.
So Josh goes into the red door. He walks through a very dim hallway lit by candles. And it's like a weird mansion of some fucking sort.
It is scary.
It is scary. And then we see Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the hallway is up here.
Yeah.
And it's like this big square. And down below's like a lobby of some sort.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or a courtyard. No, it's not a courtyard because it's indoors.
Yeah. It's basically like a square room with a balconied room, a balconied hallway over top.
Yes.
So like when you go into like a nice house or something, and like there's a loft that's above the living room, but it's still like a living space,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just there from a banister. You can still oversee the living space. It's kind of like that situation, but instead of being a full loft, it's just kind of like a hallway that goes along. It's a very strange layout, but it's cool.
It is. It's almost like a ballroom is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dalton's in there crying. Josh finds his way down there and sees that he's chained up.
Yeah.
My man's shackled up.
Yeah.
He begins to unshackle Dalton, and Dalton looks up. And then we hear Tiny Tim start playing again. And it cuts to another room up on that second story.
Yeah.
And there's a huge window there. And we see the red-faced demon in there just sharpening his nails.
Yeah. He's using like a grindstone that he's powering by a pedal.
Yeah.
And it's just going super fast, and he's literally sharpening his fingers on it, like his metallic ass fingers. And it's like the camera work is like fading like in and out, like it's pulsing this whole time that you're seeing him. And Tiny Tim's just going super loud.
And there are puppets all over the room.
Dude, it's fucking weird.
All the puppets are moving by themselves, too.
It's so disorienting. It literally looks like a Niles video. It looks like a Niles video, like how a Niles video is shot.
Yeah, like when they start dancing and shit.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Bro, that scene, I could not keep my eyes off. I rewound it and watched that 2 times. 2 more times. Because it was just, I don't know why, but I loved that scene. It was just so like insane. And it was such a good like revealing moment of like the main
villain.
Bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Josh gets Dalton unshackled, and Dalton says, "Oh my God, Dad." He's looking.
Yeah.
And it cuts back to the window, and he's just standing there with fucking paws up on there.
Yeah.
Tongue out.
Yeah. Yeah, his forked ass tongue.
Watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just appears right next to Josh.
Yeah.
And it throws his ass. And it starts fucking stomping towards them, and then we see it has hooves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it chases them around. Meanwhile, back at the physical house, like back in real time, or reality, the house starts to fucking shake.
Yeah.
Cut back to the further. Dalton and Josh try to escape. The demon's chasing them. Josh makes it back home, like to their original home. Or not, the one that they're currently at. Damn, that's really confusing.
Yeah.
He's at the new house in the further, which is where he's supposed to be.
Yes, to get back to their physical bodies, which is what he's trying to do.
Yes. So, on their way to that said house, a bunch of entities from the fucking fog start showing out.
Mm.
Back to the physical world, lights start going out. Renee calls out to Elise and instructs her to... I didn't finish writing with that, so let's cut that short. I didn't finish writing that, so I don't know what's there.
What part?
In the physical world, lights start going out, and Renee calls out to them as Elise instructs her to. That's all I wrote.
To call out to Josh in that dimension. That's when Elise starts
Oh!
you can come.
That's right.
Yeah, so yeah, you can cut back in and take that.
That's probably what it was, because the next one is they hear her in the further.
Yeah.
They follow her voice. That's totally what it was.
Yeah.
So let me...
Yeah, rewind
Restart.
and start from that line.
So, back in the physical world, lights start going off, and Renee calls out to Dalton and Josh as Elise instructed her to.
Uh-huh. Exactly how Elise was calling out to Dalton in the last one, like, follow my voice.
Yes.
I'm right here. You don't need to see. Follow my voice.
So they hear her in the further, and they follow her voice, which is crazy. It's crazy that we're actually seeing that.
Yeah, from both sides.
Both perspectives, yes.
Yeah, I
And
did
then
like that a lot.
The physical house gets quiet. We then hear movements upstairs. Spec turns on a little flashlight, and then Tucker pulls out a bigger flashlight.
You know what I thought this actually was going to be, though?
Huh.
I thought the movements was going to be a fake out scare, and I thought the movements were going to be Dalton waking up.
You thought so?
And so right when it cuts away from the further, they're starting to get surrounded by these entities.
Yes.
And I thought that it was going to be a situation where the dad like throws him over them. He runs, gets in his physical body. He runs downstairs, and then he coaches him the rest of the way through.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I was completely wrong, but that was my first thought.
So they start shining their flashlights, walking around. Specs open up. He opens his. Well, there's a drawer open. Sorry. He sees it open. He tries to shut it, and as he tries to shut it, a hand comes out of the drawer and tries to grab him.
Mm.
He stumbles back to the others, and Elise is like, "Steve, Lorraine, go check on Dalton." So they go upstairs. They check on Dalton. Tucker walks into the hallway and screams, dropping his flashlight. We don't know what he saw, but he backs up.
Mm-hmm.
We hear the baby monitor begin to go off, and Elise says they're crossing over into
Tucker?
our realm. Yeah,
When Tucker backs up into the living room with all them?
Yeah.
He's just the fucking Top Hat Man.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, there's a dude standing. It's never before seen demon, or ghost or whatever. But he's standing like behind the stove. He's like this. You can barely see him, but he's like this. He's like crouched around the corner. And he has a big ass top hat on.
I missed that.
Yeah, he's like he blends in so well because he's pale as fuck.
Yeah.
And all the appliances are white. But yeah, there's a dude in a fucking top hat creeping around the corner.
So that's what he saw. So that's why he drops his flashlight.
Yeah.
Okay. So entities literally start showing up all over the house.
Mm.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Josh, in the further, makes it back to the house. Renee calls out to him. Entities begin to close in the real world. And Josh tells Dalton to just go ahead. Go find your body. And Josh turns around and says, "You." And it cuts. It cuts. Dalton runs into the red-faced demon. Dalton gets grabbed from under the bed, but he kicks it, and then he runs out of the house, and the demon starts crawling on the fucking wall.
That was a crazy scene.
Yeah, it was crazy. We then see Josh is talking to the old lady that used to haunt him in the mirror. And he keeps asking, like, "What do you want from me?"
Yeah.
It doesn't reply, and he says, "Get the hell away from me." And then she starts to laugh from the mirror. We then see a POV shot find its way back to Josh's body. Meanwhile, another POV shot finds its way back to Dalton's body.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton is back in his physical body, and all the entities are gone. Dalton wakes up from his coma. Lorraine carries him down the steps. Everyone rejoices. He's alive. They all share in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It fades, and Speck and Tucker are outside, packing up their truck.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I got a lot of pictures that could be used for our book.
Yeah.
He's like, pictures are worth 1,000 words. And then Specs is like, so are words. They have a really funny relationship in the second movie, especially.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
They are so funny in the second one. So it cuts to inside. Dalton is eating like a madman. Man's starving.
Oh, he's been in fucking coma.
And he's like, you know what? I'm really tired.
Mm-hmm.
And Renee's like, listen, you're never going to sleep again.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it cuts to this, like, the family room where Josh and Elise is. And Josh is looking at his old photos, and he hands them over to Elise. And he's like, hey, thanks. You showed me a new world. And Elise is like, no, I didn't. You knew all about this world.
Mm-hmm.
So as he hands her the pictures, he's like, oh, I guess I don't need these anymore. Elise looks up at Josh, and she senses something's off.
Yeah.
She then leans over the couch and grabs a camera, and she snaps a picture of Josh. Oh, man. He starts freaking out. He's like, why'd you do that? Why would you do that? And he starts choking her.
Yeah.
Starts choking her. He kills her.
Mm-hmm.
Renee kind of hears something going on, so she walks out, and she sees Renee is dead. And she runs around the house looking for Josh. She runs back into the room. She finds the camera, and she sees that the last picture snapped was of the old lady.
Yeah. Josh isn't even there anymore.
Josh is not. Yeah, that's not
it's
Josh.
Just the old lady.
That's the old lady.
Damn.
And then we hear Josh's voice say, Renee, I'm right here. She gasps, and that's the end of Insidious.
Yeah.
Good ass ending.
Damn. That's what I fucking mean. You made me watch this movie. We switched it from the double feature down to one, and that's what you left me on. And I know you knew that. And I know you knew that. And that's why I'm mad. That's why I'm actually very upset.
Well, guess what? We're watching part 2 next week, so
You won't hear it for 2 weeks.
you can watch it as soon as you fucking want. To be honest. No, I want to watch it with you.
No, I want to be fresh.
I want to watch it.
I
with
like
you.
watching it the night before or the day of we were recording, because that's the only time that I'm able to be like. That's the only time I'm able to like help and like be like, if you're like, I don't know what I saw in this scene, and then I can like cross it because I literally watched it 3 hours ago. So like, I like watching it the day of, especially because like I notice all those details and things like that. But I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm upset that I've never seen it. I'm upset that I haven't watched it before now. And now I'm upset that you only made me watch part 1.
We're watching part 2 next week. We really are.
I know. I understand. Whatever. So, so this one has been a little bit of a longer one. To be honest, guys, we're a little longer than we usually go, which is actually kind of
It's probably
weird.
not that bad because beginning was a long one. We had a long start that's probably going to get cut down. Our break was a little long. You just missed. So it's really not as long as you think it is.
It's not as long as I think, but it's still a little bit longer than our normal. So let's jump into these 1 stars.
Yeah, fun facts, and then we'll give our review.
And then we'll give our review. So, okay, so 1 stars. I only have 6 of them, like I said, because this one is just like the most What the? What? Did you just add to your Instagram story?
No.
I just got an alert that you added to your Instagram story right now.
I don't think I did. Well, I didn't. Oh.
Okay. So, 1 star. I don't know how somebody could mess up a horror movie this badly. If you're reading the reviews to see if you should watch it, don't waste your money. The plot was interesting conceptually, but horribly executed. The characters were so badly written that I didn't care what happened to them, which completely took away from the scare factor. The jump scares were horrible. The special effects were a huge letdown, and the big bad wasn't even that scary. I made it 50 minutes into an hour and 43-minute film until I decided that no climax could make up for me wasting my time on this movie, and I turned it off. We come across this one every single time we do horror movies. We come across this review
Every time.
of the dude who doesn't watch the movie. He watched half the movie where all the boring shit happens. The first 50 minutes are the most boring of the movie. Watch the rest. It's actually not that hard. Because everything pops the fuck off in the last half hour.
It pops off from scene 3 on.
I
don't know how this was boring.
Okay, I get this, though. I get that he watched 50 minutes and he's like, nothing insane has happened.
See, I'd get it if it was The Conjuring. With this, it's a little harder.
But it's on every movie that this happens.
Yeah.
This was the exact same reviews as Halloween Ends. Is that nothing happens. You don't see Michael for 45 minutes.
Well, to be real, nothing really did. Also,
Exactly.
I'm back to hating that movie.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm still not, but okay. But yeah, we get this review every fucking week. I'm going to include it every time because it's true every time. But watch the rest of the fucking movie before you start. You literally should have to take a quiz on what happened in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Guys, tune in next week to see how I feel about Halloween Ends again.
Literally.
It changes daily.
Okay. Second review. To be honest, I don't understand why the demon is coming after the boy in the first place. Because he seemed pretty good in his room. With his dolls and knives? What am I watching?
Those were fake knives. Excuse me?
Dude, kid was good.
Like, alright.
Yeah. This one. Ah! So creepy. I hate horror movies. I don't know why I click on it. I'm so creep out. I will have nightmares. What?
This is one of the only horror films to give me nightmares.
All right. That was
Or I was astral projecting. I don't know.
That one's actually a year ago today.
Weird.
Dumb story. A high school teacher and stay-at-home mother with 3 kids bought a house. How? That one made me fucking laugh. That one made me laugh. That was 7 months ago too, right in the middle of like the housing market being the highest it's ever been too, which is so funny to me. This one, 1 star. I never watched the movie and I'm not going to. So GG's, 1 star.
GG's.
Hating ass. And then this one honestly might be the biggest flip I've ever seen in my life on our reviews. It says, booty cheeks, not scary, be better, edit. This is after that they put an edit in there. Edit. Just watched it, having nightmares. Sorry, Insidious.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fun fact time?
Yeah, it's fun fact time. That's all I got for you. That was all 6. Like I said, there wasn't a ton.
So the first Insidious movie was filmed in record timing. The crew wrapped up filming 3 weeks after the start date, which is unheard of.
3 weeks?
3 weeks. This was shot in 3 weeks.
Holy shit.
So, although Patrick Wilson scored the starring role of Josh Lambert, he wasn't the only choice for that part.
Okay.
Ethan Hawke was initially tapped to play the character, but turned down the role considering his later work in Sinister might not have been a bad...
Oh, okay. I know who this guy is.
Yeah, it's Maya Hawke's dad.
Really?
What the fuck? You didn't know that?
No. Oh, I know where I know him from most recently. He's the fucking bad boy from Moon Knight.
Oh.
He's the bad guy in Moon Knight.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking weird looking in that movie, which is why I almost recognized him but didn't. He's you know what he is, honestly? So, he is how he is, right?
Okay.
And then in Moon Knight, he's this weird character.
Okay.
The same way that Patrick Wilson is here and Kevin Bacon is right here. Where they almost look like each other.
You think Patrick Wilson looks like Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
I think it looks like David Morrissey.
David Morrissey?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Damn, we are on two
That
different ends
dude
of
looks like that dude looks like Kevin Bacon,
no
bro.
way.
Yeah, he does.
No. Anyway, the first Insidious film was shot in a place that is almost as creepy as the movie itself.
Okay.
When Josh enters the further to rescue his son, all the shots were filmed in the Herald Examiner building in Los Angeles. This place once housed the newspaper that covered one of the most gruesome murders to have hit the city, the case of the Black Dahlia in 1947.
No way. Okay, that's cool.
And that's it for the fun facts.
Those are cool.
Not a lot of
Those
fun
are good
facts.
facts.
about Insidious.
Yeah, I mean, if it's filmed in 3 weeks, there's not going to be a lot.
Nope. Review time. This
Okay.
was your first time seeing it. Let's hear your thoughts.
Honestly, 8.7.
Same.
Yeah?
Same.
8.7. It was a really fucking good one. I like this one a lot. I am excited about the future of... I say future of the franchise when it's already out.
There's going to be a 5th.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, then I'll decide based on my 2, 3, 4. And potentially 5.
I haven't seen 4, so... We should cover 3 and 4 next season.
Okay.
Just in time for
Well,
5.
2. Wait, we're doing 2.
We're doing 2.
In a few weeks.
Next week. Is it next week or the week after?
The week after.
The week after. We're seeing it next week, though.
Wait. Maybe. Either one. We'll figure it out because...
Interchangeable.
Yes. Yeah. It's either going to be next week or the week after, just with scheduling things, because I don't want to hit you guys with movie.
We're about to do that anyway because it goes.
I know. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm saying. We're either going to have to do a 2 weeks in a row of movies.
Or 2
No, we're
weeks
not.
in a
No,
row.
we're not. We'll figure it out off camera. Don't worry about it. But
Either way, you're seeing
you're going to hear it
Insidious
either
Chapter
next
2.
week or the week after. Period. All right. Yeah. So 8.7. Great movie. Loved it. Really enjoyed this as a horror movie. It was. I realized when. What's her name? Elise. When Elise died, it's the first death in the entire movie.
Yeah.
And the only death in the entire movie. And it gave me hope that there can be a non-bloody, guts, gory, death-filled horror movie that is super effective. And I love that. It's very different. And I like it. So hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Week after.
I'm so excited for you to see.
Yeah,
Chapter 2.
we'll definitely watch that one together. And
Shit's on Netflix too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good, because I had to buy this one.
I had to buy this one too.
Yeah, Jordy?
Run us.
Yeah.
No, I rented it for like $3. It's really not.
Yeah,
that big
same.
of a deal.
Did you do it off of Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Because you can, it's only available on like weird stuff. It's only available on Peacock if you have the subscription. Or,
Was it?
Yeah.
I have Peacock.
Oh, it's on Peacock. Do you have the paid Peacock or the free Peacock?
Paid for Halloween Ends.
Oh, okay, then yeah, free. The paid one had it.
Shit. I wish I did that instead.
But then I wish I texted you and asked you if you had Peacock. But yeah, okay. Think we're good.
All right. Tune in next week when we talk about either Insidious Chapter 2 or something else.
Yeah, or my true crime.
I think we should do Insidious Chapter 2. That way.
You think?
That way it's just.
It's back to back?
It's back to back, and
okay.
Tyler's not geeking about it.
Okay.
Because Tyler, I don't want you to wait.
Here, you know what we're going to do? We're going to DM Tyler. Right after this wraps.
Okay.
And we are going to say, would you like to hear Insidious 2 next week or the week after? And whatever he says, we're doing. How about that?
Great.
That's a good third party.
Great.
All right. See what happens when you're a fucking fan, bro? You get direct influence on what we do.
Yeah, when we
because
reach
we
out.
Genuinely need your feedback.
Oh, by the way, this episode was a request from Tyler.
Yeah. Which is why I want to do it. That's why I suggested asking him. It's because I know this one was from him.
Shout out, Tyler. Thank you for your
out,
request. It's one of my favorite horror movies.
I would have never watched it if it wasn't for you, and I loved it. So appreciate it. Thank you, man, for that suggestion. Please keep giving us more suggestions because obviously you're fucking good at it. So,
well, that being said,
yeah.
We'll reach out to you after we wrap this episode, Tyler. This is going to be probably a month in advance, so
yeah. So you'll hear about this 5 weeks after you got this DM. But yeah.
Anyway, for the others listening that aren't Tyler, follow us on social media because we know he does.
Yes.
Because he's a good fan.
That's right. He is a good fan.
Creeper 100 Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn,
Prime Podcasts,
Spotify, Apple Music. You know what to do with that big fat butt.
All right, bro.
In all seriousness, guys, check out the YouTube. The videos are there. What you are hearing now is in video format now. So if you're not taking advantage of that, that's on Spotify and YouTube. It's a lot more fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. Leave a voicemail if you want. There's a link in the bio. Check out the affiliate links. And if you want to be super nice and support the show, you can donate in the links below. As always, guys, thank you for listening. Take it easy. Thanks for joining us today. We will see you next week.
All right. See you, everybody.